Yeah, you probably should shut that. It's falling off the hinges. Careful. With that door, if you close it too far, it goes all the way across.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Brought food over.
Should be good. I'm feeling lucky. Wait, why?
Check.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you come through real good.
How about from here?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna look real stiff today, dude. My back. That's why I'm in the good chair. All right, hold on. We got to sit for a second.
I can hear my breath.
Can you?
Yeah. It's all
So
good.
on that very top,
Yeah.
second one over.
Check.
It's the white knob at the very top. Just barely turn it to the left. I mean, just barely. You're gonna pick up some of your breath, dude.
Yeah, no, but I wanted to hear the difference. I did too. No, that sounds way better actually.
So sounds good though. The rest of it.
Yeah, no, it sounds a lot better.
Probably hear me sniffling a little.
How do you turn it up just a little bit without?
So, well, bottom white one, turn up just
This
a hair.
one?
Yep.
To the right.
Yep.
Check. I'll go a little more. Check. There we go. Ooh, yeah.
Mine sounds all right though.
No, you sound really good.
I think so. I didn't have much problems last time. No, I don't need to hear it.
You good?
No. I'm not too worried about it.
Hello.
Hello. Hold on, we gotta wait till we're rolling, dude.
Got me, man.
No, there's some random stuff on the table. First, roll our intro, Keeler.
Oh my goodness.
I know it's gonna be difficult now.
I just started smiling. So funny. The excluded middle. Right around. Coming at you. Don't have the back shack no more.
Don't have the bunker.
No bunker.
No, we're just in
You gotta come up with something. But now the excluded middle. Right around. Here we go. Word on the street. Where we at? What's going on in the world? All kinds of stuff, man. What's going on in the realms? You know what I mean?
It's wild out there.
Yeah, it's getting crazy out there. There's rumors of war. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of stuff going on, man. There's greatness happening. There's goodness happening. Creation happening. And then on the reverse side, man, there's destruction, division. You know, the war's going on, man. There's people are falling in deep depression and just there. I think a lot of people are just losing sight, or they can't even see anything, man. They're just kind of like zoned out, man. I don't know what word you could use for that. But then on the other hand, man, I come across people that are just so alive and just filled with life and just striving.
They're out there.
Oh, dude, they're out
bunch.
there. Oh, there's so many out there. And then,
when you get in the same room with them, like you just can tell.
Oh, you start getting better yourself, man. You cannot be around
the transverse is true though,
such
too.
Greatness that it's infectious. Yes, like both sides, it is infectious, and you know what I mean. Are you walking in those rooms of negativity and despair and misery, and are those rooms like capturing you? And are you going negative with them? Are you able to transmute that area? You know what I mean? And bring a little bit more positive to it and a bit more love to it and shed a little bit more light in those areas.
Yeah.
And lift those people up out of those moments of misery and obstacle. And then it comes down to the fact that are those people even willing to choose something different? Because a lot of times I think a lot of people get so down and out that in fact they find themselves that they're choosing such ways, even if they don't recognize it. You know what I mean? We can recognize it.
I think some of that people just get so conditioned, right? It's their normal, and it takes a radical. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's something radical, whether it's a traumatic event or a radical intervention or burning bush moment, right? They're just stuck in that. And I've seen a lot of people playing pretensies with it. Like they're going to church and they're doing some things, but they're just not at peace, right? They don't have that true peace.
Yeah, they're just
there's people that are going through it that are living very evil lives, don't get me wrong. But there's people that are really putting time in, that really, really want what God has to offer, and don't want what the world has to offer, but they just cannot find that peace. I was talking to a guy this morning that he's been for the last 2 years, really like engaging in church and reading and learning and doing all those types of things. And he's just like, he's like, I don't think I feel at peace. And he's like, I want to feel at peace. And I'm like, well, compared to, before, you are at peace, aren't you? He goes, oh yeah, well, yeah, before, I mean, I'm way at peace compared to that. And so I'm like, well, what's your expectation of this peace that you're expecting? And I think some of it is that people think that it's going to be life without challenge, right? And so then when there's a stressful situation, they don't recognize that there's still a peace there. Because like I've had some stressful situations over the last month, and there's been some fleeting moments where anger took over, but overall I feel this peace, right? Financially, I feel a peace that, I mean, I'm back to work and I was behind on my bills, and slowly but surely things are just working out and I'm not trying to force it. Where before, boy, I think the first thing I would probably do is like, how am I going to hustle up and wheel and deal? And to me, that's not peaceful. I don't know why people don't. You think it's because they just don't want it?
Yeah, well, I think so.
More than their condition.
I think they just choose that. And I think, and that speaks to that despair and misery. You can only choose it so long, and then eventually, hopefully, you start to recognize like, well, I am choosing this. You know what I mean? Regardless of the circumstance, you are choosing to be in that mindset.
You have to, at the end of the day. At some point, you're making the conscious choice. I can't see it any other way.
Right. Like, I mean, it's just finding gratitude in all things. You know what I mean? Like, no matter the circumstance, I mean, there's something you can be thankful for. You know what I mean? Regardless of what's going on, there's something else that you could have more of a positive outlook, no matter how hard and challenging that can be. You actually have to be intentional about bringing that forward.
Yeah.
And putting focus on that too.
So I ran across,
that just circles back right to Christ. You know what I mean? As most things do, like no matter your circumstance, you can always circle back to Christ and know that promise that's coming. You know what I mean? In the next, no matter what, like you are in the hand of God. You know what I mean? So no matter what's happening, we must endure. We must continue. And most times, hopefully I'm doing that with a smile. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude. Right. In the weirdest situations.
Yeah.
Just with that's the wrong one. Hold on a second. I was trying to find this quote that
especially if it's just like, you're just not at peace. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, and no, peace is a place too. You know what I mean? Peace is a place. Hope is a person. And if you have those, I mean, your internal peace should be there, I would think.
I feel like a lot of that's interchangeable. I mean, and part of it's because it's Eastertide, right? So a lot of stuff is, I mean, Jesus' ministry coming to an end, and the last conversations he's having with disciples, and in John 14:27, he says, peace I leave with you. It's not a worldly peace that most people know. This is a different kind of peace from my Father, basically. And even then, when I read that verse over and over and over, I mean, even as a kid, probably in the most recent of times, it's hit the hardest, and a lot of it is because of all the extra stuff, I think. And I'm not talking about in our community or even in Kansas. I mean, just the climate of the world there's numerous wars, and some of them are quite possibly religious. And even when you're not paying attention, there's still an influence of those things. People are talking about it. It's going to run across your Facebook, stuff like that. But I'm going to read this quote. So it's from St. Anthony the Great. St. Anthony of the Desert was about 250 AD. And he was like the first monk, and he wrote a lot about fighting demons. So I've really been paying attention. But he says, a time is coming when men will go mad. And when they see someone who is not mad, they will attack him, saying, you are mad. You are not like us. That was 250 AD.
Dang.
And I'm thinking, how many times has that quote rang so true in a moment? And I think now with the way that people are attacked for their belief systems, and me and we've talked about this ad nauseum, the worldly influence into the church, right?
Yeah.
And it says a time is coming when men will go mad. I think that time's come and gone.
Yeah.
But I think we're definitely in the part when they see someone who is not mad, they will attack him. And they'll say, you are mad, you are not like us.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes to that calling evil good, the scriptural part of it.
Well, that's been going on for a long time, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like what hit me was like the witch trials. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they would just burn those ladies, like because they thought they considered them mad or of the enemy, and they would just burn them. It's like just because they weren't. Because they were, just like that quote said. I mean, that's exactly right there.
So, that's a very unique, weird situation that probably was not great for Christian history, was it?
And then it's like, well, then you're like, man, just think of all, if those people would have stuck around, like, maybe it would have been different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like they might have possibly been changing timelines right there. How things could have worked out,
Oh, man.
In those moments.
No.
Or in fact, like are creating, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like are different realms based off different decisions in life that we've went through. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different realms, and dimensions or whatever else. So do we all just start out as just the same? And then we all make different choices, and there's so many different choices throughout every single day that we could make. And in each one of those moments, there's different choices being made. And so then those are all creating different timelines or realms or whatever that exists. I don't know.
I would say timelines over realms to me seems like more like the difference between spiritual and physical.
Yeah.
So there's many.
Yeah, timelines.
Timelines, yeah. That's why when something's off, and I'll be like, "There's a glitch in the Matrix." Of course, we wouldn't say that if there wasn't a Matrix movie, but I mean, would we? Would we say it?
I don't know. If it's
would we be like, "Would you take the red pill or the blue pill?" I just don't know. I find it interesting that we in 2026, how far away from spiritual things we have removed ourselves as a whole. I mean, I know that there's people that really engage it well, and I think for me, I'm just like scratching the surface of that type of spirituality with Christianity, comparably to like guys that have been doing it their whole life, the guys that I listen to the most. And I'm always like, why is this? For Trisha, it's like not weird because like she was raised in that fashion with a lot of mysticism and they're taught around those things, right? And me, it's like, oh, that's magic, right? That's what I was taught. Things like that were magic, So I don't know. How am I able to come through that and other people aren't? It's very interesting to me, and not that I'm all the way there yet, but when I look back in the things, and it's just like we were talking about, like with running and whatnot, like you're starting your race and you have 100 miles to go, and it seems daunting, and you're like mile 2 or 3, and it's a long ways to go, and then the next thing you know, it's like, dang, I only got 3 miles left, and you look back. And you can almost like visualize all these things in the race, good and bad, good and bad, good and bad. A lot of times I think even then what you hold on to, and I don't know because I'm not a runner, and that is what you learn from is you recognize the win, but you dwell on the parts where you're kind of low, right? And how do you get better from that? You dwell on the part like, man, I took that one misstep and that could have been a mechanical injury. So I need to be more careful. Like maybe I need to tie my shoes tighter. I don't know. I mean, maybe I need to wrap my ankles before I go, things like that, and I think in life we do that. So I work with a dude that is constantly like going right back to the yuck, even though he's got all these good things going. I feel like he's really set free from those things. He just gets so hung up in the who I used to be. And it's you can see his whole body change when he gets to that point.
Yeah, and it's like, are you using those moments, those bad moments that you're speaking of to allow you to better yourself, or you allow them to pull you back down?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are you making steps like, and then like on the racing aspect, like I got a race coming up right now, and then my gut issues. You know what I mean? I tend to have gut issues, so I've been trying to implement some things there to help me out with that.
Yeah.
And so when that problem arises, I can be more proactive about problem solving it on the fly and not letting it cost me too much. You know what I mean?
Or hurt yourself.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So are you like, as you walk through life and you're having those mishaps, are you capturing those and using it as a learning moment, inventorying that, and so that way next time it comes about, you have a better way of handling the situation.
Well, especially if you,
or to allow yourself to choose better,
a better way.
Yeah, because it always comes down to that choice. You know what I mean? So
it's funny how
what are you going to choose?
When I was in a place about 24 years ago, God, almost 30, maybe, I don't know, 40, 20 something. It was called Thinking for a Change. We had to do thinking reports, right? And so you would take a situation from your past and you would write what happened, and then you would write like things that you could have done to intervene before things got bad, right? And so over basically 2 years of doing that, then you'd retrain your brain. So if the situation happens, you go back and be like, oh, wait, I've been here before. You have this like weird deja vu moment.
Yeah.
And you recognize what had happened. And so in some places I was able to overcome so much just by that simple thing. Yeah. Right. But then other things, I mean, there is no psychology book in the world that can answer my spiritual questions. There is no psychology book in the world that can heal my spiritual questions, right? And so when that thinking for a change, it's really like you make a God out of yourself. Like you're the one in control. You're the one that does, makes that. And so I don't know, man. I don't know. When do you race?
The 25th.
I'll be at Encounter.
Yeah, 25th.
That'll be a good time for you to be racing. I'll be running a different race of endurance that weekend.
For sure. I think I want to say the 24th. It's that Friday.
So the 24th is Fridays. I think.
So it starts at 20. Mine starts on the 24th.
Yeah.
24th, 25th, and 26th.
Yeah, it's the same days as Encounter. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Mine will get over, I don't know, 5 o'clock on Sunday.
That's about what time we'll be rolling back into town. Yeah, 4:30. We get back about 4:30.
Yeah, my start Friday or 5
Where are you running
Friday? Over there by Abilene Enterprise.
Ooh, I got some friends up that way.
Yeah, it's right there.
Well, we'll just be around the corner in Salina from you.
Yeah, it's that same place I ran last year.
Oh, dude, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Taking KC with you?
Yeah, Casey's in.
Is he going to run it?
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah.
He is in the race.
50K?
No, he's doing a 24-hour.
No, I know, but did you guys do a 50K last year?
Yeah. Well, no, not there. I did. Well, no, we went out to the Sticks.
Yeah.
That's out there, dude. That's a cool course too, man. The Sticks. Yeah, that's out there.
When he went with you,
where Norton is? Yeah. Like Norton, Colby, like all that. Like up. It's way out there up northwest corner.
When he went to this race with you last year, was he just your spotter then?
Oh yeah, that's what kind of got him into it because.
But he's going to run it this year.
Yeah, he kind of come out and he paced with me.
Pacer, that's what it's called.
Pacer. That which was cool because KC got to pace with me on that was like my first 100 mile, like actually where I achieved that 100-mile distance.
Yeah, and
he got to pace with me on that final lap to get the Hundy.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then, I hit the 100 at that time, I'd hit the 100.
Is Chase going to go up?
And then, I imagine he does go up.
Yeah. I know he's not running it.
I don't know that he's running it, but he'll definitely go up.
Yeah. Because he went up last year, didn't he?
Yeah. And there's a good crew of us going up there. So it's going to be pretty fun. No, I'm trying to get a couple other guys going now and talk to a couple other fellows today even that may come now. So we'll see, man. Hopefully we have a good group and we do show up and we show out and have. I mean, and more or less, dude. I was thinking about this today too because I started getting a little anxious before these races, and or just I just started anxious. I guess you could be a good word for it. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, at the end of the day, you know what I mean. It is great to go out there and compete, get it done, but at the same time, there's just going to be. Like you're saying, like we were just discussing, such amazing individuals.
Yeah.
Like the energy at these races, like you're seeing some of the greatest people alive. Yeah. You know what I mean? That can endure. Like you're seeing people that have endured. Like most of these athletes, I mean, they got some good stories. You know what I mean? Like
dude.
you just don't go out and run hundreds of miles and not have any like past experiences, you know what I mean? That typically put you in something like that or in those scenarios. Or either way.
Yeah, not everybody's a David Goggins about this, right?
Yeah.
And he's the one that just signed up one day and ran like some ungodly race.
But he's a different type of individual too. Like he's so dialed in. That's what I mean. There's something.
And it wasn't like he was just like off the streets. Like
no, yeah, these types of people. I mean, they ripple out greatness. You know what I mean? I mean the accomplishments they do. I mean. And especially if you start seeing some of the older people of what they've done and accomplished throughout their lifetime. Yeah. And, you get those moments where you can actually discuss and talk with these people. And it's just like, I mean, it's just a blessed experience overall, man. Great community. I mean, the community is just amazing and outstanding. Yeah. And it's just kids are going to have a lot of smiles, man. There'll be some tears out there probably. You know what I mean? Yeah, people enduring, and you're enduring suffering. You know what I mean? You're suffering out there and you're enduring.
Yeah.
Because everybody out there is going to be hurting, man. Guaranteed.
Yeah, but there's a thing about the sufferers together. So it's like, you think about that because you can tell me all day long how rough it is, and I can see the pictures of your nasty feet after you're done, and just the black and blue of your whatever. I mean, but I can't. I could very well empathize with it, but I have a really hard time understanding it. I have a hard time understanding why anybody would want to run like that. First off, but at the end of the day, like just what are you willing to endure for the greater good that brings glory to God, right? And then I think about the principle of that, and it's like it's necessary. Yeah. It's not a I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's not something you half-ass, right? It's necessary to push ourselves to a point of like literally almost breaking, and I don't know, man. I think that that's where the challenge comes, that we're challenged to live up to that, the godly standard that God reveals to us. And so for everybody, it's a little different. I love a couple weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, when we were still talking about spiritual gifts, and, it gets laid out with an array of spiritual gifts, starting with evangelist and teacher and preacher and prophet and apostle, and how these fit together and who goes first, right? And who does this and how it all fills in. But the training is all the same, right? The ability at the end is different. So some people that train might not ever be able to get to 100 miles, right? But they might be really, really good at running. What's the marathons? 2013 something? 26 miles?
Yeah, marathon.
Oh, I thought it was kilometers.
No,
it's 26 miles. Yeah, I ain't running no marathon.
A marathon's 26.2.
Yeah,
half marathon 13:1.
Yeah,
like that'd be and then you have like 10K.
Yeah,
15Ks. You know what I mean?
Well, I paid to walk a 5K once, and it felt weird.
Yeah, 5K. That was that was
Travis's deal.
Race. Yeah.
And I let Raiden know. I was like, I've never paid to walk before. It's like, this is strange. I don't like walking that much. I'm getting ready to start liking it. I did enjoy it when I was going for work, and we would have a group, and go walk. And honestly, it was like so good for me and the people I worked with and for. The atmosphere was just different. Now we were outside walking. I went one time to the Y, and I just basically sat in a chair and felt miserable the whole time. But there is something to it, right?
Dude, I've never really liked walking, and always just can't stand it. And I think that's like one of my downfalls of my ultra running, because at some point you have to walk, and I would just refuse and just keep running. And then, but since I've incorporated walking, I've gotten so much stronger, and my running's gotten so much better, and even my heart rate's better. Like everything has just my body. I just feel better. So there's something to walking. Like I've been implementing a lot here this last, since that last race in October, I started implementing a little before then, but I've really kind of dialed in on the walking, and I'll mix a lot of walking into the mix.
To the run.
And not into the run. I'll just go out for walks.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Like in the evening time, I'll have my run in, my weights in, all that good stuff, right? So then it gets towards the end of the night, and I'll be like, you know what? I'll just go out for like an hour walk. and I'll take Wheeler, and we'll just go.
Yeah,
we'll just go walk, man. It's something. There's something to it, man. It is.
yeah.
I've experienced a lot of gains here from the walking lately, and it's been, of great beneficial. Yeah, highly encourage walking. It's
That's
wild.
good.
But it just seems like in the moment when you're first doing it, just like it seems like it takes so long.
It seems tedious.
Yeah, pointless. Almost
if I'm out somewhere,
at first it was.
So there for a while, I was really trying to go walk, and so we would go hit a trail somewhere. And when we're in town, dude, I love doing Nature Center. I absolutely love that place. I like it, one, just because it's not. I mean, you got to drive a long ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we'd hit the Sandhills once. We drove down to Cheney last month, I guess, whatever it was, for the opening day of their hiking season. And I didn't think there'd be very many people there for this because whatever, there's hundreds and hundreds of people. I'm like, not cut out for walking, like old ladies be passing me on my right. The only saving grace I had was a 2-year-old with me. So I had to keep pace with them. So, Papa was okay. But I don't know, man. You want to talk about some of this stuff on the table?
No.
Before we jump off here?
No.
Why? Give me that. Let's talk about the naked lady.
When I sat down, all I see was boobs. It was just like,
it's really weird, right? She would get crazy.
Yeah.
It's a nutcracker. It's a nutcracker from Honduras or something crazy.
That was wild, dude.
And some of the stuff we've had around, the Jesus matches.
Yeah,
that's sure. From Trisha when she went to Encounter down in Oklahoma. The penguin is a pepper shaker from Japan, and this is Trisha's dog.
Oh my goodness! You brought a dog in here?
No, Trisha's dog. Listen,
it's got a skull on the top of it too.
So.
Should have been my first sign.
Should have been. Feel how heavy he is, dude.
No, I'm not. I don't think right.
It's heavy guy.
Oh my god.
So what kind of dog was it? It was like Meatball. Yeah. So we were looking.
You're just gonna leave him in there?
He's cremated.
Well, yeah. Why don't you throw him underneath that tree or something out there?
It's Trisha's dog, not mine.
I'll say something.
I would have never paid to have a dog cremated, bro.
Oh, she paid to have that done?
Yeah, it's not free.
Oh my
she didn't do it at home.
I just figured maybe she. Yeah.
I buried my dogs.
Yeah, you paid.
Shallow grave. I didn't. This was before me. She's been dragging this thing around for like 18 years.
How much it cost to cremate?
I don't even know. Hundreds of dollars, I bet. But we were looking for some icons, and we
she
found
didn't pay
these.
much for the urn. It doesn't look like.
No, I've never opened it.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
probably just sand.
You should probably just go out there. Dude, I would dump that out there underneath the tree and have a little
We've moved six. We've moved 6 times.
Funeral or whatever, man.
And Romeo goes everywhere with us.
Oh my goodness!
So is it weird?
Yeah, it's very weird.
So would it be weird? Would it be weird?
For me, it is. I don't know. We'd have to ask Trish about it, but at this moment in time,
would it be weird if it wasn't a dog? Like if it was grandma?
That isn't. It would be even weirder if it's grandma. I'd be, yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's weird, man. I think it's weird that people like to me, it's weird to me that people cremate people. I mean, I understand cremation and all that.
Right.
I understand the concept of that. What I don't get is putting them in stuff and putting them on your shelf.
So,
I tell you what, let me find out if I die and you take some of me and put me on a shelf, I'm gonna be one pissed off dude, guaranteed. Let me fly, man. Yeah. Let me go.
Most of my family members in personal family that have been cremated were buried at the same time.
Yeah.
And you can ask Jason, especially since he's here, about his grandpa Tom and how that plays out. But I always thought that was interesting. So my dad wants to be cremated, and I told him no. And he's so much so he put it in his will that way he can only be cremated, right? And
he told him no.
I told him no. I was going to have a cheap casket funeral and bury him in some gym shorts.
Well, isn't cremation cheaper than
way cheaper? And he's a cheapskate. See, his problem.
Yeah, but isn't cremation cheaper than a casket?
Yeah, but he can afford a casket. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. But he wants to go the cheap route because he's cheapskate.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's dead. You know what I mean?
But his expectation, we put it in his will, so we can't bury him. His expectation, though, is for my stepmom to carry him around till she dies, and she's like 20 years younger than him. And then when she dies, to be clutched in her arms in the casket and buried.
No.
Yeah, I told him no.
Oh my goodness.
I said, we got a nice suit to bury you in, Pops. It'll be fine. He said, I'll put it in my will. And he did. Maybe I'll keep him on the podcast desk for a while, Keeler.
My goodness, man. I can't believe we got a dead dog sitting here.
Sit, Romeo.
We got ashes
Sit.
from a sit. Stay. Good boy.
When Trisha was going to put him
Trisha's going to be pissed
No,
off.
she's not. She knows because she sat him here because we were looking for icons to hang up in the prayer room.
Yeah.
And so Romeo gets packed up with the icons, apparently. And that's not where the Nutcracker was. I found her somewhere else and asked Trish, what is this? And she's like, oh, I was on a cruise to Honduras or Belize or something, and I got that Nutcracker while I was there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It's so for a specific nut. And so, whatever, dude. But I thought it was funny. So, yeah. So, she was going to put him away, and I said, no, leave that. So, when I do a podcast, I can mess with Keeler.
That's crazy, man.
That's how much Trish loves you.
I
bet she texted you today at 11:11.
She did, too, 11:11.
Yeah, she was so excited that she caught that.
Yeah, she does that.
She said 11:11 on the
Makes
11.
you smile every time, man. Yeah.
It's funny because she prays, right?
Oh,
and
100%.
sometimes she forgets to send it.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said it's no fun when it's 11:12. Well, we'll know if you watch this, babes.
Yeah. Cool, Ryan.
I
Much
love
love,
you, brother.
man. Yeah.
Thanks for coming out.
One
we
love
love you guys.